Eminim Allah milostivi milosrdno, Его превосходительство.
Mr. Prime Minister of Belarus. Our distinguished guests, the attendees, I'm honored on behalf of 6 million investors and traders, and on behalf of myself, I would like to welcome Mr. Prime Minister of Belarus, Mr. Roman Jolovichenko, and the accompanying delegation, which is honored with the participation of the distinguished ministers and the representatives of businessmen from both countries. We are here today in the 6th Business Forum to start our political developing relationship to support our economic relation, either on the bilateral or on the regional level. We believe that developing the trade in both ways, either trade or investment or tourism and services. We have many opportunities to cooperate our industries also. So the Egyptian companies should use the Belarusian product for the industry with the usage of material of both countries to export to the neighboring countries to increase our export together. Also, the Belarusian companies should do the final industry in the Egyptian factories with the industrial products from both countries. We have more than 100 million users, and we can export to the free trade zone with no tariffs, which exceed 3 billion users in EU and Arab and African countries, and Latin America, and the United States. And what we do in tractors now, and God's will be in other vehicles, and that was done with the participation of both presidents. In that framework, and by the name of the private sector, I invite both governments to finish the agreement and Egypt's participation in the free trade agreement, Russian, to be an important element to develop our economic relationship. Also, the Belarusian companies should benefit of the Egyptian location and its resources and ports to establish logistic locations, especially in the Suez Canal zone, to be able to reach its exporting destination with minimal expenditure. Also, we have to work on developing the tourism cooperation after the e-visas. In that framework, I invite to open direct flight line between both countries. Also, we invite the investment in the touristic sector and investment in Belarus and the infrastructure and using the experience in what was done in Egypt. Belarusia. Egypt worked hard on receiving this cooperation between Egypt and Belarus and other countries with many reforms in many domains to create good investment opportunities and good environments in logistics, in all parts of Egypt, and we have a program to develop the infrastructure which worked in parallel with the mega projects in all domains. All this was supported by the transportation to link Egypt with the world through the important ports and special places and free zones, like the free zone of the Suez Canal and the railways which were developed, and the bridges which is linking the continents to have link with the international markets. Egypt is witnessing today receiving more new investments and touristic groups and developing in the export. It works in parallel with our economic reform and logistical reforms. It's our turn. And the representatives of the private sectors from both sides to create new opportunities and allies to create new investment opportunities and use these opportunities which our both countries are offering. We have the supportive political administration and leadership. We have promising opportunities for cooperation in industry and agriculture and services and infrastructure and mega projects. And we have a strategic location, and we have the business domain which is active and the business men. And we are meeting today, and I welcome you in Egypt. The land of promising opportunities. Thank you so much. Now, the speech by Mr. Mikhail Myatlinkov, the head of the Commerce and Industry Chamber of Belarusia.
Министров наших стран, что в своем графике работы нашли время и прибыли к нам на форум. Ну а Федерацию торгово-промышленных палат Египта и личные руководителя Ахмеда Эль-Вакиля за гостеприимство и организацию бизнес-форума. История наших конструктивных и дружеских отношений с Федерацией торговых палат Египта насчитывает уже более 25 лет, а в последние годы на регулярной основе мы совместно проводим крупные мероприятия. Так организовано 2 масштабных бизнес-форума в 2017 и 2020 годах. Также в 2020 году в рамках визита президента Республики Беларусь и Египет была проведена выставка с демонстрацией совместных египетских научно-практических проектов. Демонстрация крупногабаритных.
Also the business forum and the cycle of business in both countries, the investment opportunities in both countries and trade, and the participation of the businessmen from Belarus to Egypt and vice versa. We are ready to expand the cooperation between the businessmen of both countries. In 40 people who are visiting Egypt, many of the institutions and factories of Belarus in Egypt, like minskly of tractors and cars, which is working in Egyptian soil, and you know it well. You know our famous products.
في الأرياف المصريين هناك أيضا مجال واعد للتعاون وهو المجال الكيماويات، مجال المنتجات الغذائية والمنتجات المعدنية.
And many light industries, also the pharmaceutical, tourism, and many fields. The Belarusian businessmen are keen to increase their economic cooperation with Egypt and have investment opportunities in Egypt. There would be many offers that would reflect the capabilities of the Belarusian. Yesterday, it was the first group of meeting B2B between the different business cycles, and many horizons of cooperation and the direct opportunities for establishing factories. The Belarusian factories always is taking part in many forums and shows like Food Africa, and there was a full pavilion for the Belarusian industries. And in December this year, there would be a new show for Belarusia in Egypt. There are many companies of Egyptian company participating in Belarusian shows. Egypt is one of the best places to be visited by the Belarusian tourists. Egypt is having many beautiful places to be visited and many beautiful resorts. All the Belarusian stars and famous people are visiting Egypt. We would like to have direct relations between the Egyptian and the business Belarusian. We would make all effort to have all the support for the Belarusian and Egyptian firms. I would like good agreements and good opportunities. Thank you very much.
Сейчас слово министру торговли.
By the name of God Almighty, Mr. Roman Jolishevchenko, Mr. Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Egypt, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning I would like to welcome Mr. Prime Minister of Belarus in Cairo, and I would like to welcome the businessmen and ministers of Belarus. I would like to thank the efforts exerted to participate in and establish and organize this forum to strengthen the relationship on the economic and trade and business levels between both countries, Egypt and Belarusian. Our meeting today is highlighting the efforts to use the mechanism, to use these opportunities on the best way for the opportunities of both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian government exerted great effort to form good opportunities and good environment for investment, and offering great incentives to pave the way for the private sector to participate in projects, which is focusing on the infrastructure and participating in developing the economy. For this, the cabinet offered the good atmosphere for the investment of local and international investors, like establishing the High Committee for Investment headed by the Mr. President, and include all the concerned ministries. And that include all the sectors of the state, and the ownership of the state and enabling the private sector and create a good environment for investors. In that domain, I would like to shed light on the financial opportunities in Egypt. Also, the administration and all the investment in Egypt is guaranteed with safety. That the golden license, which is included in the new investment law, to have a fast investment, which is a great highlight for improving the investment environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the atmosphere of cooperation between Egypt and Belarus is still great. We have an opportunity to develop this investment cooperation and trade cooperation. I would like to highlight that the economic relation between both countries is based on a great pillar on the relation between both countries, which is supported of the Egyptian administration of both countries. We have many levels of creating new job and investment opportunities and investment and Eurasia for creating a free trade agreement between Egypt and the bloc, which have no tariffs or tax. Our meetings of the Egyptian Belarusian Committee, the last one was the 7th, which was held last November, and the labor market of both countries in the field of agriculture and industry paved the way for the businessmen in both countries to create new venues of cooperation. The group of cooperation, which was held 2023 in August, witnessed the signing of many protocols, like the company of ICARD and Belarus Blaze to cooperate in heavy industry in agriculture. I would like to invite the businessmen and the traders of both countries to create a new era of cooperation between Egypt and Belarus, to have a new cooperation for both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like finally to assert that cooperation between both countries is the only way to face the challenges, to create an environment of cooperation with our partners in Belarus, to find a new path of cooperation on all levels and domains, especially investment and trade. Thank you so much. Now the speech of Mr. Bendalov, Alexei, and the head of the Joint Committee.
Ваше превосходительство, господин Матбули, уважаемый Роман Александрович, уважаемые участники бизнес-форума, как сопредседатель Белорусско-Египетской совместной торговой комиссии считаю основной целью подобных мероприятий содействие увеличению товарооборота между нашими странами. В 2023 году в Каире были проведены ряд встреч в рамках рабочей группы по промышленности, по сельскому хозяйству. В ноябре прошлого года состоялось 7-е заседание Белорусско-Египетской совместной.
Was in November last year, the work in industry and agriculture, also the forum of business between both countries, the work exerted to reach this work in both countries within 2 months in that year. The level of trade increased, doubled actually, comparing to last year. On that basis, I would like to support this trend and to increase it. In spite of that, we would not accept this level of cooperation. We would like to, it does not reflect the potential. Both relations between Egypt and Belarus should be the high work and the potential, the iron. This year, $8 million were given to Egypt in the iron and raw iron. At the same time, we are exporting to more than 30 tractors to Egypt and 21 industrial agricultural machinery. We want more than 280 agricultural heavy machinery. In the year 2023, also, I will export to Egypt, and we will make a contract to increase more than 5,000 heavy machinery. We have new horizon of cooperation in the field of cooperation, industrial cooperation, especially in the field of collecting material for heavy machinery. To reach that, we have to provide selling places for the material for selling these products. We are aiming to increase the level of cooperation on the trade level, to increase on the first quarter on $20 million. We are seeing that there is an increase in what we export from fruits and vegetables. Egypt is importing milk and dairy products in 2023. We agreed with the Egyptian side. We are having the approval of the Egyptian side to import the livestock, and we have all the approvals. In addition to that, I would like to say that the Halal company, all our livestock products was approved that it was halal according to the Islamic Sharia, and we can export it to Egypt. All the concerned parties in both countries should increase cooperation, especially in the prioritized domains like establishing a place, markets, and for Egypt and Africa. Ankadom, Belarusian company would do that project in Egypt, and it would be a place for silos to store in Egypt. It would be in the form of silos in Egypt, and there would be a complex for establishing the materials in Egypt, and we'll have the technology to do that. We are having an increase in the trade between both countries, and I would invite the private company to